Okay, so now that we've categorized all of August transactions, we're going to go to the reports and we're going to look at the profit and loss and see how our work kind of impacted the reports. And this is a good way to check our work and see if anything has landed in the wrong spot. We're going to see cafe sales. We're going to see our cost of goods sold. So it looks like, from our core costs of running and producing coffee, we made $1,000 in August. Again, we started in the middle of the month too. Our sales weren't consistent just yet, so that's kind of where that's at. We have bank and processor fees. We have our rent payment. We have our wages that we paid, insurance, utilities, our interest expense. So our interest expense exists here on the income statement, right? So where does a principal exist? If the interest expense is on the income statement side, principal is going to exist on the liability side on the balance sheet. So let's take a look at the balance sheet real quick as well. And we're going to set our date to 8/1/22, 8/31/22. And if we run a report, we'll see that we have about 2,000 left in the bank account after the end of the month, paying ourselves, paying rent, everything. Um, and we have equipment, we have furniture, we have signage, and our lease deposit. We have equipment, furniture, signage, our lease deposit. These all don't change because we haven't really put any other money into these just yet. And here on the Chase loan side, you'll see where that number really comes down. Um, it will be by the principal. So it was 7,500 before, and we paid down 190.66. So our new loan balance is now this 7,309.34. You'll see our net income so far because of all the money we've put into spending and getting everything set up is negative 8,568. But again, we're in the first 2 months of the business, right? So let's say we want to holistically look at this from the start of the business, just within the first 2 months. We're going to do July 1st to August 31st, 22. If we run a report, we can see where that negative 8,568 comes from. We had a lot more advertising expenses. We had um, more setup costs here. You see that gross profit came down from 1,000 to almost 400. So you can see kind of where that margin starts to build on the opening costs from the beginning. And we'll kind of get into how that transforms over time. If you wanted to look at this a little more granularly, you can look at this by displaying it by months and run the same report. And you can see July was a total impact of negative 1,096, and August had a total impact of negative 6,600. So this is also a good way to generate reports and see how things are going month to month, being able to see, oh, well, looks like in certain months the sales kind of dip, or the certain months they rise. Summer versus winter is a good example. And so this is the profit and loss. You can do the same with the balance sheet and kind of see how they change period to period. So if we were to do 7/1/22 to 8/31/22 and then do by months and hit run report, you can see how the bank account changes balance from 8,800 to almost 2 grand. These did not change over periods. The loan went down by 100, and here you can see your net income is decreased. So that's kind of reviewing your balance sheet and your income statement. Um, what we're going to do is go ahead and reconcile our month real quick. So let's go to our documents, Chase Bank's checking statements. We're going to go to August. The opening balance is this right here. So I'm going to copy that and let's just paste it here to make sure it's right. Yep, looks like it's right. And again, it should be correct if you had set up and you did your rec from the last one, you're setting your opening balance for the next one. So we're going to paste that statement balance, and QuickBooks gets a little picky on the formatting. So we're going to paste the statement ending balance, and that's going to be for August 31st, 2022. Hit start. And again, it'll automatically check it. If everything kind of looks good to QuickBooks, it'll go ahead and check it. But you can go through the process of making sure you recheck everything if you'd like to. But with $0 difference, and we know we did all the transactions correctly, this is good to go for my opinion. So we can hit finish now, finish our rec, and we're done with August 2022. So I'm going to jump in on the next video, kind of using the rules and the batch categorization a little more efficiently, and trying to burn through a couple months at a time. So in the next video, we'll probably do a couple more months, 2 or 3 of them at a time, and try to get through chapter 4 a little quickly. Again, a lot of this is about practice and getting the rhythm of what you're doing and the understanding. And so if you feel comfortable trying to do a whole month on your own without watching the video, I highly recommend you to do that. When we get to chapter 5, a lot of it will be more of I want you to do it first and then use the video to check, because now you have all the tools that you need to be able to really do the work that we're doing here. And so at the end of the day, there's the community. If you really have questions and you don't understand why something's working, if you really want to understand the mentality behind something, please feel free to ask questions at any stage of the course that you're at. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video where we go ahead and knock out a couple more months together.